everybody, I'm Up the FN Ducks and thank you for joining me as we continue our team-by-team preview of the 2022 World Cup. And in this episode I'm going to take a look at Poland, who are making their second World Cup appearance in a row, spearheaded by the one and only Robert Lewandowski, probably one of the best strikers in the last decade. You can catch my other team previews and analysis on the channel, and if you're feeling ever so kind, a cheeky like and a subscribe would go a long way to making you a World Cup legend. So let's begin and have a closer look at Poland. Poland as a nation are very proud. There's some beautiful culture in their country. There are over 700,000 Polish people actually living in the UK, and some of the Polish people I've met are fantastic characters, very close friends of mine, and are very excited for this World Cup. Of course, Poland is the home of Volca, but as the first picture shows, one of beautiful cities and squares as well. In fact, Warsaw, one of their biggest cities, was almost destroyed in the Second World War. When in Poland, one of the things you can do is to indulge in local culture. Head to a traditional Polish milk bar, or bar mleczny in its native tongue. I think I've got that right. It is an all-purpose Polish cafeteria, with soups, sausages, dumplings, and even cakes. But it actually got its name in its early days due to the number of milk products that were on the menu. Finally, I've included Joanna Champion, the first Polish female UFC champion, as a sport which Poland have been very successful in providing some top talented fighters over the years. Joanna in particular was scary when she was the queen of the division, crediting her Polish punching power on her rise to the top. Her nation will be hoping for the same from their football team in this World Cup. Now on to the football, and Poland in their World Cup history do have two third-place finishes under their belt in the 1974 and 1982 World Cups. But in recent times they've had more of a struggle to qualify for the tournament, with 2018 their first appearance at the global stage since 2006. The last World Cup saw Poland in a very tight group indeed, with Japan, Senegal and Colombia all battling for the top two spots. But the Poles couldn't recover from the damage of an opening match loss to Senegal and then a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Colombia. In fact, Poland were actually eliminated without their star striker Robert Lewandowski scoring at all. At the European Championships last summer, it was a similar story for Poland, failing to win any of their three group games, despite this time Lewandowski chipping in with 3 goals. Sweden topped the group with Spain in second, while Poland couldn't even join the third-place qualification battle as that was taken by Slovakia. The Euro 2016 quarter-final represents the Poles' last appearance in the knockout stage at a major tournament, a feat they would love to repeat in Qatar over this winter. At 52 years of age, Czeslaw Michniewicz takes lead of Poland at his first international management role after a long career managing teams domestically in Poland. He signed a deal in January 2022, which led him to manage Poland to their all-important World Cup playoff tie, his first job to seal qualification to the World Cup. During the group stages of qualification, Poland had been led by Paulo Sousa. However, the former Portuguese international midfielder left his post to take an opportunity with Flamengo in Brazil before the playoff portion of the qualification began. It would be somewhat harsh to judge the new manager's win record, as with only 8 games in charge, he had the daunting task of facing both Netherlands and Belgium twice in the Nations League, which severely hampers his record. However, 2 wins over Wales, as well as Sweden in that all-important playoff tie, prove his credentials, which he brings from years of Polish football embedded in his head. Poland were faced with a difficult task in their group, with England always expected to take the top spot and secure automatic qualification. So Poland qualified for the playoffs through a group which included, as well as England, Albania, Hungary, Andorra and the mighty San Marino. Poland had a clean sweep of victories home and away over Albania, Andorra and San Marino, but struggled against both England and Hungary. They did manage to pick up a draw at home against the English, but they were beaten there at home by Hungary, where a 3-3 draw was reciprocated in Budapest. The playoff knockouts led to an automatic pass in the first round, as Poland were due to play Russia, who due to the war in Ukraine were suspended from FIFA competition. This saw Poland face a team who beat them last summer in the European Championships in Sweden. A Lewandowski penalty as well as a second-half goal from Zielinski secured the Polish passage to Qatar with a 2-0 victory in March. As we outlined, Poland dropped their only points against England and Hungary, with only 1 loss altogether in qualifying. Andorra and San Marino are of course poor competition really at this level, and Poland duly dealt with them as well as Albania. In matches post-qualification, Poland did have some difficult matches against Belgium and Netherlands in the Nations League. They did get a draw against the Dutch, but also suffered a 6-1 mauling by the Belgians. 2 wins over Wales, however, is where Poland will point to, as well of course the all-important victory against Sweden in the playoff to prove their capabilities for this World Cup. The Poles do have a single friendly ahead of Qatar where they play Chile, but after that it's straight into the tournament. It's not entirely clear how Poland will line up at the World Cup, as the Nations League saw Poland go 4-2-3-1, then switch to a more traditional 4-4-2, before finishing up their last 2 matches with a 3-4-3, which included the win against Wales. So that's what I'm showing here. Poland could go 4 at the back, but this is how it will likely look if they go for a 3. Of course, Juventus goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny will be between the posts if he's fit, with Jan Bednarek of Southampton, Kamil Glik of Benevento Calcio, and Jakub Kiwior of Spezia in Italy. They are the expected back 3 for Poland. A midfield partnership of Grzegorz Krakowiak, I think I've got that right, and Zurkowski were used most often, with Berezinski outside on the right and Nikola Zalewski on the left. In the attacking units, Piotr Zielinski could play either side of Robert Lewandowski, or Karol Swiderski, playing in the MLS for Charlotte FC, could be used as well as an option. They also have Arkadiusz Milik, Piacic, and they could use Adam Buksa as well in one of these roles. But we all know it will be Mr. Lewandowski up front. Speaking of course of Robert Lewandowski, one of the world's top striker over the last decade. Footballer of the Year a dozen times in Poland and Germany combined, Bundesliga top scorer on 7 occasions, FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Champions League winner. The list is endless for a fantastic career for Lewandowski. He scored an incredible 312 goals in 384 Bundesliga matches for Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, before he finally left to head to Barcelona in La Liga. He's already fitted in quite well, picking off where he left off in Germany with an incredible goal-scoring record so far. What I'm sharing with you here are the attributes from his player profile in Football Manager. This is just to give you a flavour of how he's rated in the game. The ones that you see in bold, they're the ones that relate to his key position. So in Lewandowski's case, of course, it's for striker. For Poland, he's racked up 132 appearances and 76 goals, both of which are records. However, he failed to score in the World Cup as mentioned last time around, and he's searching for his first World Cup goal. The striker will have all the motivation he needs in Qatar to get his name on the World Cup goal-scoring list, and hopefully for him, propelling Poland through to the knockout stages. His value to the team, however, is not just in his goal scoring. He's of course a key figure off the pitch, always fun talking to the younger squad members, helping them integrate within the squad. Piotr Zielinski is an experienced midfielder with plenty of match time in Italy. He was still a youth player at 17 when he moved from Zagreb Lubin to Udinese, with his Serie A debut coming in the 2012-2013 season. For 2 seasons on loan at Empoli, he then moved to Napoli in 2016, and that's where it's been his home for the past 6 years. The 2020 Italian Cup winners are now regulars in the Champions League and Europa League, and Zielinski barely misses a match for them, both domestically and European, with over 300 appearances in all competitions. Of course, Napoli have started this season on fire, and Zielinski has also been a key part of that team. So it's not a surprise, therefore, to see that Zielinski has also become a pillar of his national side, with 72 caps and 9 goals. His main task is pulling the strings in the Polish midfield, setting up chances for Robert Lewandowski. He's a key centre of the team, dictating play, using his outstanding footballing IQ, reading the game and feeding his teammate with clever passing. He also knows where the goal is, as he proved with his timely strike to make it 2-0 in the playoff match against Sweden. Now Szczesny is a very experienced goalkeeper, spending most of his career at Arsenal and Juventus, filling his trophy cabinet in the process, with such silverware as the Italian league title 3 times and a pair of English and Italian Cup winners' medals. He has over 200 Serie A appearances to his name and 150 matches in the Premier League. If that was not enough, he also has featured in a good 70 UEFA Champions League matches as well. That kind of big match calibre will be waiting gold for Poland, for whom his debut in 2009 has gone on to win 64 caps. He's very much the country's number 1, but he's had to contend in the last year with a number of injuries, particularly an ankle problem. Polish fans will be hoping he'll be back to 100% in time for the World Cup. However, Skorupski, Dragowski and Grabara are all decent options between the posts and are featured in the latest Nation League fixtures. Now looking ahead to their World Cup matches, Poland open against North American opposition with Mexico, which will be very interesting, as currently the odds are undecided who are most likely on paper to join Argentina in the knockout stages. The Mexicans do seem to perform well in the group stage, and the opening game could be very telling indeed. Next up, the match with Saudi Arabia is another crucial one for qualification, as it could well be tight between Mexico and the Poles. However, if Saudi Arabia picks something up in those first 2 games, they may cause all kinds of chaos, making qualification very difficult for somebody. They did qualify very well again from the Asian section. Then it's the toughest match on paper. It's Argentina. With an array of talent, a much more consistent feel to their qualification this time around, any result here would be massive for Poland. So finally, we move on to my predictions, or I have a stab at who I think will qualify. Mexico have had a stuttering qualifying campaign, but I think they might just pit the Poles into second place. They seem to always qualify. Lewandowski will be wanting to end his World Cup on a high, and I hope at the very least he gets to score at least a goal to add to another achievement on his resume. If he catches fire, however, Poland could well grab one of those qualification spots. If they do find a way through, it still probably pose some difficulties. They're still likely to face some tough teams in the knockout stages, but if Poland can get there, I think they'll be happy. And with that, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you're interested in more of my World Cup previews, do stay tuned to the channel. I'm trying to get through all 32 before we start. But for now, I hope to catch you soon and take care.